So we are going to look at accounts payable transactions today. So for that we will go to accounts payable. I'm using the C300 2024 version, AP transactions, and you can go to invoice batch list to see if there is any open batch, or you can directly go to invoice entry if you're creating a new transaction. So let's say I'm adding a new batch. In this case I'm recording stationery supplies transaction. I will copy this description. I want to use the same batch description for my entry, and here I can select the vendor. If I don't know the code, I can click on the finder button using the finder key or F5 shortcut on the keyboard, and then select the vendor from here. So let's say I've got one vendor only, create, so it's easy for me to find it right now. And then what is the document number? Now before that, what is the document type? Now you can select if it's an invoice, debit note, credit note, or whatever transaction is applicable. In this case I'm using invoice. There are more the fields which are there which you can use, like document date, posting date. If the document date and posting date are different, you can change the posting date. Then let's say the document number is what is mandatory, so I'm going to create 123-456 as my invoice number. If you have a PO number, order number, everything can be specified here. Let's say the total of my document is 210. That is the value of my invoice. Now here, based on the supplier setting, I've already selected this account to appear as a default, which is very good because this is where I'm going to record my stationery expenses. So I'm going to give a description. Let's say stationery supplies, and then I'm going to enter the amount here. So let's say it is 200. Now when I enter the amount and I move on, I can see the undistributed amount. So the system is going to tally what is the document total against all the line items that you enter, one or more items that you have entered in the invoice. So then if there is any difference, you will see it here. That means there is some correction to be done. So from the taxes, you will be able to verify the tax is getting calculated. 200 is the base, 5% tax in this example. So 10 dirhams is getting calculated there. The terms are going to be picked up from the supplier master. In this supplier case, it is cash on delivery. If you have any optional fields to be recorded, you can do it here, and then you can verify the totals if they're matching with the supplier invoice. Once you have checked everything, now this is what happens if you have mandated some optional fields. So make sure those values are provided. So going back to the optional fields, here I have a field which says import of goods through customs. No, this was not imported through customs. And now I'll be able to add my transaction. So there is a validation in the system. Similarly, there is a validation for the undistributed amount. If the total of the document and the lines that you have entered is not matching, then the system will warn you. Once you have entered this transaction, if you want to enter more entries in the same batch, you can use the plus sign and go to the next entry and do that. After completion, then you can save it and post it from here. When you see this message which says GL transaction creation completed, that means the entry was posted successfully. Very good. To verify it, you can quickly go to General Ledger, GL transactions batch list, and here you should see that transaction which you have entered appear in the list. So here it is coming from the accounts payable module. This is the transaction that we just did. Now if your posting is set to automated, so let's say automatic, then your system will automatically go to GL and post it. If it is set to manual posting, then it will create a batch in the general ledger and you will have to come and manually post it. So I can check this. Now my accounts payable is getting a credit of 210, printing expense is getting debited by 200, and VAT on purchases is 10 dirhams a debit. Looks fine. I will go ahead and post this batch. So my transaction of GL is also posted. Simple. Great. Thank you and have a nice day.